I'm Adam Andrzejewski. I'm a Republican running for governor. I grew up in Herscher, 100 miles south of Chicago, and I now live in Hinsdale with my wife, Carrie, and 3 little girls. My background is in the private sector, where I built a business with my brother. We went from scratch to $20 million a year in sales over a 10-year period by taking on a monopoly that was underperforming and overcharging. And now I want to do the same thing in Springfield. I'm running because Illinois is in financial and political crisis, and the current political class is not up to the task of solving Illinois' problems, absent new leadership from new people talking about new ideas. Here's the key problem in Illinois. It's about jobs for you and your family. Let me tell you about a businessman I've met on the campaign trail. He employs about 160 people, and he told me that if he moved his business just 35 miles away to Indiana, he would add $750,000 to his bottom line. Illinois can't compete with our neighboring states, and it's because of the cost of our expensive, our corrupt, and our inefficient government. It is my goal to take Illinois from next to last in job creation, ethics, and reputation to first in all of these categories. And I believe the citizens of Illinois are ready for this. I believe that you are ready for the dramatic and bold changes in policy necessary to achieve these goals. Voters should choose me because it is leadership and not experience that Illinois needs right now. It is leadership that will end the political and financial crisis that we face right now. I'm running on bold and well-thought-out ideas that have worked in other places like Indiana and Louisiana. Check out the Issues tab at my website, adam4illinois.com, to read more about my solutions. I'd like to give you 2 of my most important pieces of policy to illustrate what I mean. I've led on transparency, calling for the opening and then the auditing of every agency and grant in the Illinois budget. Citizens deserve to see every dime online in real time. Now, I've chosen transparency followed by forensic audits as the foundation of my policies because I can achieve both of these goals with you without having to ask the Democratic legislature for permission. Through the use of the powers of the governor's office under the Constitution of Illinois, I can reorganize the agencies, rescind the spending, and even amend portions of the legislation that is sent to me. I will show Illinois citizens every example of waste, duplication, and unproductive grants in the budget. Transparency and forensic audits are the only way that we can build support for the spending cuts necessary to balance the budget without raising taxes. Past governors have used their office to grow their power and fill patronage positions. I will use my powers of the office to empower citizens to see how their Illinois government works. So if you want aggressive reform and fumigation in Springfield, I promise that my administration will shake the foundations of the existing Illinois power structure. I have led on giving Illinois citizens a real property tax cap by repealing the numerous exceptions that allow for continuous increases. I have called for the zeroing out of entire agencies to balance the budget, and I have proposed meaningful pension reform that ends the legislature's almost yearly raid on the Illinois pension funds. As I travel across the state, I find that citizens are ready for these bold reforms. They are interested in good policy and not warmed over platitudes. And speaking of platitudes, let me say that any of my Republican challengers are preferable to the Democrats, who support a graduated income tax hike to transfer more of your wealth to their powerful spending interests. However, there is something else that you need to know about some of my Republican opponents. Jim Ryan, Andy McKenna, and Kirk Dillard have not taken a tax increase off the table. We cannot allow the Republican Party to become the tax collector for the Democrats and their unsustainable welfare state. The problem with all of my opponents is that they can't win against the Democrats, and I can. You see, collectively, all of my opponents have decades of Illinois political experience. And it's this experience that translates into political baggage that the Democrats will be able to use against them in the general election. I am free of Illinois political baggage. It is Illinois political experience that has put Illinois in the political and financial crisis that we are facing now, and it will take leadership to get us out of that crisis. With your help, we can accomplish great things for this great state and its citizens. Vote for real reform. Please support me, Adam Andrzejewski, on February 2nd.